Hey, it's Joe Amoia, founder and creator of GPSforlove.com. Got a question for you. Would you like to learn a communication strategy that will help you to have a better, healthier, stronger, and more fulfilling relationship? Well, if so, I want you to pay close attention. Today, we're going to talk about how to communicate to a guy in such a way that you don't make him wrong and express how you truly feel. See, one of the biggest problems that you're having in your love life and in most of your relationships is you do one of two things. Is you don't express how you truly feel. And that's a problem because as us guys, we can't help you. We can't fix the problem if you don't let us know. But the second problem, which you may be doing, is that you talk to a person. You talk at them. You talk at them. You don't talk to them. What I mean by that is that when you talk at somebody and you get into this accusatory tone, it's like you did this or you did that, it automatically puts a guy on the defensive. And us guys, we have big egos. We don't like to be told that we suck, even when we do. You know, I'm going to be honest, it's just the reality of it. So if you start going at us immediately, it puts us on the defensive. And it's a lot like that with any creature in nature. There's something called fight or flight. So when an animal feels that it's being attacked, it's being provoked, it automatically goes into defense mode and sits back and then starts attacking back to protect itself. So, you know, it works the same way if you're honest, right? You take some mirror time, somebody comes at you, tells you you suck. What do? You automatically get defensive, you start making excuses. Well, when you're defensive and you're making excuses, you're not going to solve the problem. So the best way to communicate to a guy is to express how you feel. Now, there's a simple preface that you want to start off with, and that's before you start any communication, you want to see if a guy is emotionally available to have that communication. So it's a simple little phrase is, hey, Bob, do you mind, can we talk? And then just shut up. Don't say a word and see what Bob says. If Bob says, sure, what's the matter? Or, you know what, what's this about? And then you give him a little, you know what, can we talk about this later? You know, I've got a lot going on. Doesn't mean that you're not important. Doesn't mean that Bob wants to solve a problem, doesn't want to solve the problem. It's just that Bob isn't fully present right now and he can't give you what you need. Doesn't mean that you're not important. Doesn't mean that Bob doesn't want a relationship with you. It just means what it means is not right now. Don't give it any more meaning than it needs to have. So then at that point, you ultimately get to the point where you're able to talk. So either Bob says yes and you go right into it, or Bob says, okay, no, later. And then you say, okay, when do you think would be a good time, Bob? And Bob says, okay, how about we talk in 2 hours? Or, you know what, I'll let you know. So also you sit down, you start talking to Bob because there's something that's bothering you. And you're cognizant you don't want to make him wrong. How do you do that? This is how you do it. You ready? You simply say, Bob, you know when you did that? Well, it really made me feel this. Okay, that's the key. When you do that, or when you do this, it makes me feel this. Because it's all about your feelings. See, your feelings are never, ever, ever wrong. I'm going to say that again. Your feelings are never, ever, ever wrong. And when you communicate to a guy, you want to talk about your feelings. You want to help a guy to see how his actions are affecting you and making you feel. Because when a man is in a relationship with a woman that he genuinely cares about, and we're talking about a man who wants to be in a relationship with you, he's going to go, you know what, the last thing I want to do is hurt you or cause you pain. And most of the time, we don't even realize it. So it's like, wow, I didn't realize that. You know what? Thanks for telling me. I'm going to do my best to clean it up. And that's what healthy communication is. Because the thing about us guys is when we really love and care about someone, we're the protectors. Okay, we want to make their lives better. We want to be that knight in shining armor. And the last thing we want to do is want to hurt you or cause you pain. So if you come to us and let us know how you're feeling, and we're that emotionally available, healthy man, then we're going to do our best to clean it up and make it right. So your job is to let us know when we're not doing that. But it's also learning to communicate to us, not at us. And it's the biggest mistake that you're probably making in your love life and in your relationships, is you get upset, you bottle it in, and then you go at somebody. You go at a guy. And the guy's like, whoa, where's this coming from? And you need to do this consistently. You got to do it when it starts to build. You know, when you start feeling frustrated, when you start feeling sad, when you start feeling hurt, express, when you do this, Bob, it really hurt my feelings because it made me feel this. And then Bob, if he's the right guy for you, will get it and will communicate and you'll work it out and resolve it real quickly. However, if Bob's not the right guy, he's a boy, he's emotionally available, he's got his stuff, that's going to be a problem, and that's going to lead to bigger and more advanced problems in your relationship. So there's a telltale way of saying if you and Bob are right for each other. And the best way is to see how well you communicate, because in life, life is going to throw a lot of shit at you. And if you're not able to communicate and resolve it, then you're going to have lots of problems in life, and it's going to be a really difficult relationship. But the good news is when you find that right person and you learn how to communicate and build it together and build those communication muscles as a couple, that's when life becomes much easier, no matter what it throws at you. So I know I threw a lot at you today, and I know this is a big one. You're probably going to pass it along to everyone, male and female, because it's a matter of learning how to communicate. Because if you can communicate and you understand and value each other and how each other feels, it's real simple to get over any problem, because the formula is always the same. So as always, I'd love to hear from you. If you get honest, take some mirror time. What have you done in the past? Did you talk at guys? Are you in a relationship now where you keep going at and talking at the guy you're with? Or have you tried to talk about your feelings and it hasn't worked for you for whatever reasons, because you were in a relationship with a boy who just wasn't present and didn't really care about you because he was in his own world? I want to hear from you. I want to hear what you think. I want to hear about your experience. And I want you to share, because your experience will help other members of the GPS for Love community learn from your experience so they don't have to learn the hard way as well. And if you have any other questions, feedback, or comments, go ahead and put those in the box below. As always, it's an honor and privilege to be with you. I'll see you next time. Much love.